Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. What an incredible time we've had with the Mobies, Kim and Susie, here in Swakopmund. But get ready, because today we're making our move south to the legendary Walvis Bay. Walvis Bay is a place where powerful ocean currents deliver some of the planet's most vibrant sea life, and yes, the most delicious seafood you can imagine. And that's not all. This is where the colossal dunes of one of the oldest deserts in the world crash into the Atlantic at Sandwich Harbor, creating an absolutely breathtaking collision of the land and sea. We have about a 30-minute drive south, which skirts the line between the sea and the desert, to the lagoon chalets in Walvis Bay, where we're spending a couple nights going on 2 massive adventures, and you know we'll be diving into that incredible local seafood.
Good morning from our campsite at Walvis Bay. We made it here, got all settled in. We're in campsite number 2, right down there. Kim and Susie and Moby are in campsite number 4. As usual, we have a big adventure planned for today, and we are waiting on Curt. Everyone is ready but Curt. We're going on a tour, guys. You know we don't do the tours often, but here in Namibia, it seems like it's tours all the time, and we are excited because this one is different. We're going on the water, which means a boat, if Curt will ever come on. Come on, Curtie!
Where's Kim? Kim, you got a wave? There he is. Oh, they did?
Yeah,
What kind did they see? Do you know?
the humpback whale.
The humpbacks are here, huh?
They're early, right?
Yeah, they are too early. It's not
Very bad. Take care.
Thank you.
Don't forget to pick us up.
I know.
We'll be back in a few hours.
Some of them are very nice, some of them are still a bit nervous. If they come 2 on the boat, they will fight. Just ignore them. Don't be afraid, nothing will happen. They will sort themselves out. You can be on the lookout for dolphins. 3 types of dolphins, bottlenose, dusky, and the Benguela dolphin. Whaling season is between August and November. But we had the last few days still luck to find a whale. Most commonly humpback, but the southern right, the minke whale, and the orca is also a possibility. You can find the mola mola. That is the Latin name for the sunfish, right? He floats on the surface, and either he takes up sunny to warm up his body, or he's got parasites on his body while lying on the side that also come and clean it. You can find the leatherback turtle. At the point of the peninsula, about 300,000 seals, we might find a jackal there as well. Penguin is a possibility. But unfortunately, I cannot guarantee anything. Sit back, relax, enjoy the lovely sunshine. You can roam around on the boat. There's space on top, there's space in front. Most of the actions will happen in front, but you're welcome to roam around. Right.
Where'd you say the sunshine is?
I can tell you how it was yesterday. Tomorrow I will tell you how it was today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
one. This is not so nice one. We'll get another one.
That's not
You don't want to come all the way up. It's like, feed me.
It's smaller than the other one, right?
There he is. That's a nice one.
Take him to the front.
There he goes to the front. I saw.
Schwimmt mit offenen Augen, der hat keinen Schutzschwimmbler. You see him, he's blinking with his eyes, and you see now and then some tears running from the eyes, right? That's a lubrication for the eye, protects the eye against friction and hurt. Because he hasn't got a
Snow, pet it.
protective shield. He's swimming with open eyes. Same you get with dolphins and whales.
Touch it. What's he feel like? Awesome, thank you.
You see, if you look, the upper layer of the hair is completely dry. But
Yeah.
very fine fur under the top layer.
You are so good. Look at you. Thank you for my hug. Thank you.
You see there on the front flippers, they were nails, they're busy disappearing.
Yeah.
The back flip, he's got some longer
Oh,
nails.
yeah.
These he uses to scratch them. Done. The very first one was rescued. He had some fishing line and nets around his body. So it was a challenge to see if you can get him on the boat to cut off the lines and nets. The most difficult part is to get him to take the dead fish because he doesn't know it. He catches live fish. But then eventually when everything was cutted off, he was very clever enough to see, remember that if there's a thing like this on the water, there is food. He kept on coming back. And the youngsters are very inquisitive. They see that and they follow and they come with.
He's taking the selfie.
Like a light, lighting up in the dark. You make it right, I forgot how to act. It's so classic. Every time you make me nervous and I lose my words. It's been a while since I forgot the most simple words. I feel calm when you're around, like nothing can break me.
Now the blue barrels are tied to a rope just to get flotation on the rope. On that rope underwater hangs a basket with the oysters in. We don't have oysters natural in our waters because the water is too cold. They don't reproduce. Average 12 to 15 degrees. The oysters need a temperature of minimum 18 degrees to reproduce. So all the oysters we have in Namibia, they were originally imported from Chile, South America. They came here as little spats, 4 millimeters. These small oysters, they put them in a basket and grow them up here.
And if you guys were following us in Chile, you know we went along the coast in Chile. And I don't specifically remember having oysters there, but I definitely had lots of mussels there and loved the seafood in Chile. But these are also the fastest growing oysters in the world. And so these oysters will grow to full size in about, I think you said 8 months. Whereas in France, the oysters take about 3 years to grow. Now, I don't know what it is in the US or the rest of the world. I'm just kind of repeating what our captain said. But by now, our captain has our confidence, and he's showing us a really good time. And Susie's over there clowning. What a fun trip.
Remember I told you, fully grown male of the seals weighs 180 kilos, female weighs 80 kilos. They consume up to 8% of their body weight on food per day. From August month, then the bull starts to eat up to 25% of his body weight on food per day. Then he starts building up fat reserve, and he prepares himself for the mating season, which is November, December. Till the end of October, the bull can double his body weight to 350 kilos.
Wow.
Then he goes November month on land, and he will wait for the females. They slowly going to land from November, either to give birth or to mate. And the bull will collect these females and will build a harem of up to 50 females. And then till the end of December, the bull will stay on land. He hardly goes in the water and he hardly eats. And he's been just protecting his harem, fights a lot to keep other bulls away, and to keep 50 happy, females happy is a tough job. Till the end of December, the bull will drop up to 50% of his body weight. The female of the seals, her whole life is also synchronized from year to year. Meaning that once she becomes pregnant on the age of 4 years, she will basically stay the rest of her life pregnant. Goes from year to year.
Do they migrate at all?
No.
Okay.
From November, she goes to land to give birth. That is where the bull builds up that harem. Within 2 days after the birth, then she's on heat again. And that means within 7 days after the birth, she will be pregnant again. From there up to here, up close by 4 kilometers, up to the late 60s, we could have sailed with a ship right next to that building. That means this peninsula is growing 25 meters a year. And in fact, the whole of Namibia is getting bigger. That's all mainly due to the diamond mining activities in the south. The borderline between South Africa and Namibia is the Orange River. From the river up north, from the delta up north to Luteritz, that's a smaller port in the south. There are the mining activities. But it's not a hole in the ground where people are going down to collect the diamonds. The diamonds were washed down the river millions of years ago, lying on the seabed. They're going out with ships, that's basically like a huge vacuum cleaner. They suck the sand and gravel up from the seabed. On the ship, they split the sand from the gravel. And the sand falls back into the water. Up to 1 million cubic meters of sand is falling in the water like that each year. The cold Benguela current can flow up to 9 kilometers an hour, depending on the weather. All of that sand comes with this current up there, flowing northerly, and it deposits the sand again. You might have seen pictures, but if you fly along the coastline here, you can find shipwrecks up to 3 kilometers in the bay. The gravel that stays behind on the ship, they have a pan about 50 centimeters in diameter, 10 centimeters deep. The bottom of the pan is full of holes, like a sieve, so that water can go through. They fill that pan with the gravel. They fix the pan with the gravel underwater onto a vibrator. They call it jigging. I don't know for how long. Then they take the pan with the gravel out. They put the lid on so that the gravel cannot move. Turn the pan upside down. Then they lift the pan. Then the gravel lies on the lid. right on top, in the center of the gravel. You'll find a diamond.
Diamonds.
Lady's best friend. Now what? Can you tell me what is a carat?
A carat is a weight of diamonds. It's
Yeah.
how they went, but I don't know. I
What
mean,
is a carat?
I don't know how much it weighs.
A carat are the seeds of a carob tree. We call them a carat. And they all weigh 0.2 grams.
0.2
They used
grams.
them on the olden days on the scale to measure the weight of a diamond.
So a carrot seed,
Carob
carob,
seed
carob.
from the carob tree.
The seeds of a carob tree.
That's correct.
So we headed out on our boat cruise. Of course, it started with a safety briefing from our captain, who we quickly learned has a really good sense of humor, Captain Wally. But we headed out right away. A seal literally came up on the boat, and you can tell the ones up in the harbor are used to the tours. So he was going around and hugging everybody, of course, in exchange for fish from the captain. But Susie got to hug him, and I was like, oh, I got to get in on this. So I climbed up there in the seat here on the front of the boat, and sure enough, he just comes right up to you, puts his little fins up on you. It just feels like he's hugging you. He almost even puts his little head down on you. You could just, it's unbelievable. I was expecting him to be really, really wet and drippy, is why I was a little bit hesitant, but he wasn't. And the captain explained that their fur and their skin and all that kind of repels the water. He was damp, but he wasn't soaking wet like I expected. And I've got to tell you, that is to hug a seal on a boat in the middle of a harbor here in Namibia. That goes up there pretty high on the list of really cool experiences. And then when he was done, he just went over to the side of the boat and jumped back into the harbor. So we kept on. Of course, you'd see little seals pop their heads up all along the way. And then we got over to where the lighthouse is, and you could see the dunes in the background. It's hazy and cloudy, but you could see the lighthouse in the dunes. And then on the beach, there were thousands and thousands of seals. I mean, it's just where they live. You could tell. You could even smell them a little bit, to be completely honest. But they were swimming in the water and eating and making their noise. They sound like Chewbacca. But just getting to sit there and watch them was a really cool experience. And then we were driving along a little farther, and it's wintertime here, summertime at home. So it's right in the middle of what the northern hemisphere would consider summer. And that is not whale season down here in Namibia. Normally they come through, he says, between August, September, and October. So we got very, very lucky because we spotted a humpback whale. Now we only got a little bit of a glimpse out of him. Not like we would see down in South America and along the American West Coast. There was no jumping or flipper flapping or any of that stuff, but we did get a good look at him from maybe 50 yards or 60 meters away, and we got a little shot of the tail. We'll see how the footage comes out, but we did not expect that at all when we were planning our Namibia trip, except for over the past week we've had a few people tell us they got lucky and saw them. So we were extremely lucky to see a humpback whale in Namibia when it is not whale season. And then we kept on, and we went to a little beach area, a little island area that was covered with more seals, and they were feasting. There was clearly a lot of bait fish in the water, and they were just feasting and playing and jumping and eating like crazy. And then we had some dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, make an appearance. And it's always beautiful when you see one of them. They're some of the most gracious creatures. Just to watch how they glide and swim through the water was amazing. So they were feeding mixed in with the seals, and it was a really, really cool experience. So I gotta tell you, I'm grinning from ear to ear. I just can't stop. The boat tour here in Walvis Bay has over-delivered more than I expected. And we ended by cruising along slowly through the bay back to the dock. And they fed us some fresh Walvis Bay oysters. The crew was actually shucking them right there, so we know they were fresh. I tried one. It was good. It was great. Kurt tried one, and his response was, we have to eat at another seafood restaurant before we leave here, which means he really, really liked it. Captain Wally was full of so many cool facts, so much stuff, too much to put into a video for you guys. But what I can tell you is that if you come to Namibia and you come to Walvis Bay or Swakopmund, this is a tour you want to take. It's on the pricier side compared to some of the other tours, but it is oh so worth it. And then Susie and Kim got to see their first whale. I think it might be the first time they've seen seals. I know it is out in the open. So to see her get that little experience with the seal was so cool. And getting the glimpse of the whale, that was just incredibly special. We've got birds flying all around our head. What a day. I would say it's probably about a 3-hour tour, and it is unbelievable, even in the gloomy, misty, cold weather. So put this one on your list, guys, because it was pretty darn special. I think you'll see this group of 4 travelers leave here with big old smiles on our face. So I'm gonna head back down bottom, see what everybody's getting into down here. There's Curdy, taking it all in. It was a good day, guys, good day.
There we go, there we go, there we go.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Atlantischer Weißpelikan, Atlantic White Pelican, one of 7 different pelicans hier. Ein von 7 verschiedene Pelikane, die man sieht. Was jetzt hier, was liegt? What do you estimate how much liegt ein Pelikan? What do you estimate how many kilos does one pelican weigh? Hier nur einer meint.
He wants the fish.
12 Kilo. Knochen sind wohl fast nur Federn. Wenn du die hier an der Brust anfasst, das fühlt sich an wie ein Ballon. Right? One pelican, he weighs between 6 and 12 kilos. Bones are hollow, it's about just feathers. If you feel the breast here of the pelican, you will feel like an airbag. That doesn't taste nice. Seabirds don't taste nice at all. Really?
Look this way. Yeah.
He's so soft, isn't he? Thank you, thank you. Oh, beautiful.
We need a ride. Yeah, I'll try to take you guys back.
That was so fun.
Smiling.
I can't help it. Water always makes me happy. Always, yeah.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. We were so lucky to catch the pelican and a seal today. Wow. How lucky we were.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, whale.
Yes, and we saw the whale. I mean, at least the tail.
Yeah, a little glimpse. but some people never see a whale in their whole life,
Exactly.
right? Now we get a ride back to our vans and we can get warmed up.
That was your first whale?
Yeah.
That was your
Now I
first
need
whale
to
kill.
put on the heater because
Yeah.
it's really cold.
Yeah, I'm cold. My feet got wet. So cool. Whew. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys.